hardly never do. You know me, I don't ever go live on YouTube, but I decided, what the heck, why not? I'm doing a quick, I don't want to cook, but everybody can't starve, and I'm going to show you guys what my favorite quick and easy meal is. And then if you want to pop by either on YouTube or on Facebook and ask some questions, we'll have some time to chit chat. Keto or non-keto questions, whatever. I'm easy, don't tell everyone. That's like my favorite joke, just by the way, so you know. I think that's hilarious. So, we're gonna do one of my favorite meals when I haven't prepared, I have nothing made up in advance, and again, I don't really feel like cooking or feeding anybody at all. Let me just grab some gloves and then I don't need to sneak away from you to wash hands. So these are just a pre-packed, pre-bought hamburger at the store. Your best option is always, of course, to make them at home, but that doesn't happen when we don't feel like cooking. Please tell me you've been there at least one time when you're like, oh, did I feed you good yesterday? Like, you want to eat again? Again you want to eat? This is like a daily thing now. Hello. So I'm going to take the burgers, and I can fit 6 in my casserole dish, and it's going to be a 1-dish meal, which makes life even easier. I do make side dishes for it, usually broccoli or cauliflower, sometimes spaghetti squash, whatever just happens to be going around at my house. So step 1 is we're going to defrost the burgers just a little bit, and we're going to stack them just so that when they defrost, they do fit a little bit better. That paper out of there. Okay, so first step, we're going to defrost them a little bit. If you're using raw burgers, skip this step. I find the best way to defrost is to just cover them with a little bit of plastic wrap and put them in the microwave for a few minutes to defrost. Now again, if you have more time and you plan this ahead better, you can put them in the oven for the first 20 minutes, half an hour. You basically want to get them till they're almost cooked, add your sauce, and then bake it. So into the microwave to defrost, and we can chat while that happens. So, gloves off. Actually, I should probably keep the gloves while I do the next step too, just saying. Like, Dorian making a mess everywhere. Candy! It's so awesome to see you. Miss Claudia. I have not seen you in forever, girl. It's Danny. Danny on Mom's account. So awesome to see you, girl. Hello, hello. And it does show me someone is watching on YouTube. I don't know who the someone is. So we're going to get to the next step. These are tomatoes and 1 pepper from my garden, and I just open it up. I pre-washed them. There's not a lot of seeds in these ones, but take the seeds out and then just rip it up into my food processor and add a handful of tomatoes. We're going to end up doing 2 batches because these are a little bit bigger. I do have some of the cherry tomato size as well. Fresh from the garden. You can't beat that, to be honest. You can't. So we're going to blend that up, and we're going to end up doing 2 batches of this. I've had people ask me about this before. What's with the elastic, Dory? I don't like cords, and I don't like when cords get tangled. I am anal like that. So blend it up, add a little bit more tomato, and whatever seasoning you like. For my house, I use Montreal steak spice, and then it makes it like a Swiss steak style hamburger. Swiss steak was one of my mom's favorite dishes. So for me, it's very much comfort food to be able to have a Swiss steak with the homegrown tomatoes, they're not always pretty. Pretty doesn't really matter when you're grinding them up. There we go. So we're going to set that aside and wait for our burgers to defrost. And while we're doing that, we get to chat and see if you guys have any questions. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, I learned something watching a YouTube live the other night, and that is that YouTube doesn't like the word subscribe or new subscriber. But if you have a channel, comment in the comments and I will go and check out your channel and we can hang out together and have some fun. So, it has, Miss Claudia. How have you been? What have you been up to? Are things good? I did notice that you've started a new page, so I'm excited about that. When you get that all together, let me know, and let's do a live and chat about what you've been up to and what you doing lately, because I'm nosy. And I love you. I think those are the two best reasons. I'm nosy and I love you. That's the best reason to get together and do a live and chit chat. Yes, I believe so. I believe so. So it doesn't actually show me. Let me see if I can see the chat. We'll watch live chat on YouTube. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's chatting. Oh, hello, Julietta. Oh, and then look at what happens. So on YouTube, I can see it and then it disappears. So we'll have to scroll back and look at the comments. I probably actually could check on my phone in a few minutes too. So it's Wednesday. How are you guys doing? How has your week been? It is miserable Canada cold right now. Yay, cooking with autism. Make sure you put a little heart there. Banana is what we're supposed to say on YouTube instead of subscribe, so that everybody checking out the live on YouTube can give you a banana and we can hang out together. Claudia, everything is going great. I'm definitely back and rebranding. Yes, we need to catch up, girl. It has been too long. I have known you forever already, though. Like, I feel like it's forever. I remember when we very, very first started everything, like 2 years ago. So yes, we most certainly need to catch up and chat about your rebranding. So here comes our defrosted burgers. And we're gonna add some steak spice to it, or whatever other seasoning you prefer. And you want to add a fair amount because the seasoning is going to end up in the sauce too. And then easy peasy, we're going to pour our sauce over top. Now, you can do this in the oven if you're like super short of time. You can do this in the microwave as well. Once it's fully cooked, I add just a sprinkle of Xanthum Gum to thicken the sauce. But that's it. This goes into the oven just like that. I'm going to turn my oven to 300 and this will take about 20 minutes at 300. And then it's just a quick, easy one dish meal. I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning to the top. And then right into the oven she goes. So let me pop that in the oven. Can you guys hear Jacob? I don't know if you can hear him or not, but he's having a lot of fun. He's making spooky sounds. I think he's not quite over Halloween yet. I think lots of us are feeling that. Halloween? We're in November already? What? Up with that. Okay, so let's see if I can see the chat. All chat, live chat. Oh, in the blender, I put 1 red pepper and then the rest was cherry tomatoes. So I sometimes use red or yellow or green peppers, just whatever I happen to have on hand. and amounts depending on how much sauce you want. This made, what does that, let me see the cup measurement on that. This made about 3 cups of sauce. So I usually just judge it by my colander. I grab a colander full of tomatoes. I'll actually show you my ripening bowl. This is what we have left from our harvest. Now I have frozen some of the tomatoes as well, but when we brought them in, they weren't all ripened yet because the winter really hit us at the last minute. So everything goes into the bowl and then I separate them as they ripen. So I just pick out a colander full of tomatoes. We also have some jalapenos and some red jalapeno peppers here that are fresh from the garden as well. So over the next couple of days, I'll be either saucing or freezing or pickling the rest of what we have fresh. Oh, and Al's fire basket peppers. A basket of fire? Yes. He's very happy about these ones. They're very hot. They're super hot. And speaking of hot peppers, the other day for my Halloween recipes, I was at Walmart and they had habaneros on sale. And I thought, oh, those are so cute and they're orange and they would be perfect for Halloween. Although I was not aware how hot habaneros are. Really hot, like really, really stinking hot. So I brought them home and I started making a TikTok video about making stuffed peppers. I was totally proud of myself. And again, did not know how hot they were. So I'm cutting the ends off. I'm scooping the seeds out with my bare finger because I'm smart like that. I blistered both my fingers, by the way. Doing that. So I'm scooping them out and I did this. Not with my finger. Did this. Not with my finger, but with this. And then the whole area around my nose and the top of my lip just started to burn, like burn bad. I messaged my fiance at work and I said, I'm terribly sorry to bother you, but I have touched my face on it. I was running my face under the tap. It was bad, but I was excited because the video looked really cute. Deleted before I finished the video. Deleted before I finished. The video's gone. I burned my face for nothing. But end of the story, habaneros are hot. So when I made them, I made the whole pan of them. Let me see where I've got them in the freezer. Here they are. And I ended up freezing them in bags there. And I ended up freezing them in bags of 4 or 5. I ate 2 little ones. Al ate a couple little ones. Isaac ate 1 and his forehead was so sweaty. So I'm going to save them and I'm going to put them inside of a meatloaf. And I think that will be super yummy. But warning, habanero is really, really hot. It's not just like, ooh, look, it's pretty and it's orange for Halloween. It's really hot. When I messaged Al at work, he laughed and he laughed and he said, woman, do you not know how hot habaneros are? And I was like, well, not really, apparently, clearly, no. No. Oh, goodness. We were chit-chatting. I just said hi to you, sweetie. Hello. I just said hi. Yeah, jalapenos, those were fine. Like, I'm totally gonna make some stuffed jalapenos. I'm definitely doing that with the same cream cheese recipe because that was like spot on. The filling inside of them is, it's perfect. It's cream cheese, shredded cheddar, and bacon, and it is so stinking good. Like, so good. It just, the peppers themselves, way too hot for me. I'm way too much of a princess. And I was like, oh, on my forehead. Oh, And in the afternoon when I cooked them, I was like, oh, those look so pretty. I grabbed one on a fork, popped it in my mouth, and walked out the door and went, my face is on fire. Because I was expecting jalapeno hot. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. I like jalapeno poppers. Yeah, I do. I was not prepared for habanero hot. Like, warning. And people did comment on that post. Oh my god, did you actually eat those? I did eat them. I did. And I intend to eat them again. And in my defense, I'm gonna say, they were on sale for $1. They were $1, and it was a whole bag, and they were pretty. And I'm not that smart, clearly. Dory's not that smart. I didn't realize. But you know what? You live and you learn, and they're still delicious. And I think inside of a meatloaf will be the perfect combination of hot and cream cheese, and the meat will take away from some of the hotness. So tomorrow we're going to do that. We're going to make 2 different keto meatloafs. We're going to make the base, and then we're going to make a bacon wrap meatloaf, and we're going to make a habanero pepper stuffed meatloaf. So let me know, should I do that as a video so it's edited and smooth, or should I do it as a live so we get to hang out? Oh yeah, they are spicy, spicy, spicy. Yeah, I'm a princess. Al loves his spicy. He eats some of those peppers. He cuts them up pretty much in dinner every night, no matter what we eat. He's like, hey, where's my peppers? I'm gonna cut me up some peppers. And I'm all like, banana pepper hot is plenty hot enough for me. Those banana rings, I like them. I like that. And I'm like, ooh, that's a little spicy. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are chatting on YouTube and saying hi to each other. Make sure you're passing out bananas and hanging out together on YouTube, because then we get to find all the fun little channels and hang out together. The other day I was watching a YouTube live, and someone thought I was a bigger channel, which I'm not. I'm not. I just have fun. YouTube doesn't really love me the same as Facebook doesn't really love me, but you know, whatever. I'm like that crazy ex-girlfriend who's like, you'll love me eventually. I'll just keep cooking for you and dancing and having fun, and eventually you'll like me. Yes, cherry banana peppers. Those I like. I really like. And his jalapenos, he let some of them go red, and they are a little bit hotter when they're red, but they're sweeter and they taste super, super yummy. The red ones. I like you, like. Yeah. Tammy says, if it burns your skin, I can only imagine what it does to your insides. Yes. Yes. And yes. I would agree with that. Al was definitely complaining about the burning ring of fire the next day, and I was like, that's why I only ate 2 very little ones, minus the one that I ate by accident, not thinking about it. So I guess I ate 3. And yes, my face was big time on fire. But on sale, is that not a good excuse for just about anything? How many things have you bought that you didn't really need because it was on sale? I like a sale. I like me a bargain. And you're like, Dory, you had a whole thing of peppers at home for free. Yeah, I did. But they were on sale. I don't feel like we should need to go over that again. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. So I think we should post jalapeno stories, or like hot pepper stories, or time we were unprepared stories in group, just because I think that's funny. I was talking to my sister today, and we were talking about sugar-free candies. And when I first started keto, I could eat them. I could eat a whole bag. It was all good. Now if I eat more than 2, my stomach starts gurgling, and it's a good old time. But the first time I bought sugar-free chocolates, I got them at Walmart in the diabetic section, and they had I think they're called Sweet Nothings, the chocolate-covered almonds. And I brought them home, and Al started eating them, and he was like, "Oh, these are good. These taste just like a regular almond. Like if you put them in a bowl with a regular chocolate almond, I don't even think I'd notice the difference." I'm not paying attention. He's just eating them away, and I'm doing something else on my phone. And I said, "Oh, hon, I want to check out, the ingredients and the stuff on the back of that." He hands me an empty bag. And I start reading the bag. And on the back of the bag, it says not to eat more than half of a bag in a serving. Because let's just say bad things will happen. Let's just leave it at that and say bad things will happen. So what do? He already was handing me an empty bag. I hid the bag. And I didn't say a word to him because for science, I need to know what will happen. And if I pre-warn him, he may have some faux symptoms. Like, I'm just saying, faux symptoms, if he knows what could happen. So I didn't say anything. And I waited a couple of days to see if he would, complain. And he didn't say anything. So 3 days later, I said, "Oh, honey, remember those chocolate-covered almonds?" And he said, "Oh, yeah, those were good. Do you have more of those?" And I said, "Oh, no, I just was curious, if anything happened after you ate them." And he said, "What do you mean happened?" And I'm like, "Well, apparently you're not supposed to eat more than half of a bag at a time, or else, bad stuff." And he starts to laugh, and he goes, "And you didn't tell me?" And I said, "Well, no, for science, I'll never be able to eat a whole bag, and my people need to know what happens if you eat a whole bag." And he said, wow, you are so selfless. I am so glad that you risked me pooping myself for your people. You're pretty awesome." And I was like, "I know, right? Awesome." For science and for you guys. Now we know what happens. It did nothing to him anyways, but, everybody is different. So I would say use that as a tale of caution. I've heard lots of people call them disaster pad candies. And they're probably not wrong. So I do prefer to make my own, and every time I look at them now in the store, I just giggle to myself and I think, haha. My man is very patient. Like, I will give him that. He is super, super patient with me. I don't think any other man I've ever dated in the history of relationships would be like, "That's funny." I have a feeling I'd get a little bit of hate for that, but it was funny. I do have a story about it somewhere in my group that I can't find. I don't know how to search for it because I can't remember what I called it. But I think one day I need to do a video about that. Oh, the sugar-free chocolate caramels. I do like those. Do you know what? Nancy Childress, Keto for Real Life People, made an awesome caramel recipe last year. I did a quarter batch of it. You can find it on my page. You can make caramel, but here's the secret. Psst, tell everyone. It has to be allulose. I hate to break your heart like that. It's the only keto sweetener that will caramelize. So it's the only one that you can use to make caramels, but it does make like actual chewy caramel that you could even do like a pulled saltwater toffee kind of caramel with. Has to be allulose though, and that's also heartbreaking to me because I'm currently out of allulose. Boo. It happens. My life sucks. I don't know what to tell you. I live in Canada. where people have stopped shipping stuff. So that's where that lies. So I'm going to sign out, and I will take some pictures and make a little after video for you guys of what the Swiss style steak burgers look like. Quick, easy peasy dinner. A lot of those are like that around my house. If you are often in my same position where you're like, oh, I didn't plan ahead, everybody wants to eat again, I don't want to cook, but everybody can't starve, then make sure you subscribe and follow me and learn all about lazy dinners. There's no shame in that, right? There's no shame in it. I'm sure of it. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm mostly sure of it. Mostly sure. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and thank you for bearing with my awkwardness. It feels very weird to be live on YouTube because you don't see the comments the way that you do. So have an awesome day, guys. And if you do follow me on Instagram, I will save a couple clips from today's fun live and put it up on Instagram and TikTok. Don't forget about TikTok. Come hang out with me. We have fun and be silly there, and it is awesome. And I promise you're not too old for TikTok. And if somebody tells you you are, tell them shut up. Love you guys. Have an awesome night. Bye, darlings. Oh, let's get some music back, because you know what? Even YouTube can't give me trouble for honeycomb music, because he gave me permission to use that. Yeah, he did. Yeah, I did. Oh. Let's get our volume back up and our play. Have an awesome night, guys. And when you don't want to cook, cook something easy.